Oh, forget it.
Would you rather have a diamond necklace?
No, this is better than diamonds.
Well, you know what this means, don't you? It means you got to give up cruising the guys at the drive-in, and I got to give up scoping on the babes with the rest of the guys.
I forgot how much I hated to do that.
That wasn't any easier for the guys acting tough all the time, either.
Oh, I bet you were pretty good at it.
I had my moments. But what's the verdict going to be? You going to wear my football numbers and go steady with me?
I would love to wear your jersey and be your chick.
All right. Now, you put this on, we'll go down to the shopping mall, and we'll spread the good news.
You're really getting into this, aren't you?
Maybe we'll just spread the news on the cruise this weekend. How'd that be?
Max, about this weekend, well, I have to tell you something. This is definitely something I don't remember from when I was doing my research on the hula dance. Is this an island tradition that I haven't heard about?
This is a Cord Roberts tradition. Only for very special women in my life. I was planning on teaching it to you if you were going to come to Hawaii with me.
Yet another reason I regret not going with you.
Maybe it's a good thing you didn't go. You would have put all those island girls to shame with the way you're doing that little hula dance.
Oh, I highly doubt it.
I don't think so. It was pretty fantastic. How about another demonstration, huh?
I'd love to. If you come back to my place with me, I can promise you the luau of a lifetime.
Oh, yeah? Well, then I guess it's time to bid adieu to the lovely island paradise of Landfair and take off for the beautiful Waterside Inn. Shall we?
Come on in, Vicky. I'm so glad you came by. You feel comfortable talking here? I mean, we can...
It's fine.
Now, I've been spending all my time trying to work on this little speech, trying to figure a way to get you to try to understand how I feel about what I did, about betraying our friendship. And now you're here, and oh, God, Vicky, this has been the worst week in my life. I know how much I've hurt you, how much pain I've caused you.
Larry, I know how you feel, all right? Don't explain it to me again, please.
Okay, well, I guess I'm grateful that you've agreed to forgive me.
No, that's not why I'm here. Look, Renee told me that she was talking to you, and apparently you have some idea of how I might be able to track down my daughter. Well, that's all that matters to me right now, and if you do have information that would help me find her, I would like to know what it is, please.
Vicky, your friendship means more to me than anything else in this world. And if you could just find in your heart some way to understand that I would never hurt you.
I'm sorry, Larry. There is no room in my heart right now for understanding. I am still very, very, very angry with you and my father and that magician for rearranging my life and my memory and for robbing me of all those precious years with my daughter.
I wish I could give those years back to you.
Well, you can't. So the only thing for me to try and do right now is find my daughter and somehow try and make her understand that I had nothing to do with putting her up for adoption. That my father and the doctor who delivered her, my dearest, truest friend, never found it in his heart in 25 years to tell me the truth. And it wasn't until I accidentally discovered it that he finally admitted it all.
What if I had told you, Vicky? What if I told you 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 25 years ago? Suppose Nikki Smith had come back. Is that the kind of person you wanted as a mother to your child?
You can't stop playing God, can you?
There was a real possibility, Vicky, that Nikki Smith would come back, that you would never recover from these episodes. My God, it's a miracle that Nikki Smith isn't standing right here before me.
That's your big excuse for withholding the information from me.
I didn't have any information. Your father never confided in me about the adoption. I don't think he trusted me to be able to keep things secret from you.
Well, he would be pleased to know that his doubts were unfounded. Did he trust Lysander Clare?
I guess he did, yeah. I mean, I've gone to Lysander. I tried to force him to tell me about the adoption. He refuses to discuss it. He keeps saying that we should just leave the past alone.
Yes, well, Bo and Clint had the same results with him, and now the man has vanished.
Yeah, I know. That's why I did a little investigatory work myself.
Have you found him?
No, but I went through my files from 1963 and 1964. I'm trying to find a way to unlock the past, you see, and I think I found a key to the months you spent in New York as Nicky Smith.
You stayed up all night creating these designs.
What do you think of them?
Well, they're stunning. But I thought the design process took weeks, even months.
Usually it does. That's why I owe the entire line to you. You gave me the inspiration to create these designs.
I had a different kind of inspiration in mind yesterday.
I'm sorry I disappointed you.
I was more surprised than disappointed. I thought you and Max Holden were finished.
That's the way I want it to be. But that man is determined to disrupt my life and make it as miserable as possible.
You can get around that, you know. You just don't have to let him get to you. Of course, if your feelings are more complicated for him than simple anger, perhaps you regret that things didn't work out between you.
Believe me, the only feeling I have for Max is contempt. When my showroom opens, I plan on letting my secretary take care of all the arrangements so that Max can see his son. That way I don't have to speak to him.
Well, your showroom is in the Holden Towers. You're bound to run into him.
That doesn't mean I have to stop and talk to him. I'm taking your advice. I won't let him get to me. Your advice so far has been invaluable. You have turned my whole life around, Michael. The least I can do is repay you by concentrating on my company to make it a huge success.
There's no need to repay me.
But my grandmother taught me that showing appreciation is most important.
And my grandmother taught me never to argue with the grandmother.
Sorry, I was told there was trouble with the thermostat in the suite. I didn't know there was anyone here. I'll come back later.
No. Let's get the problem taken care of right now. Gabrielle, why don't you go downstairs and check with the contractor, see how the progress is coming.
All right, and I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You were supposed to call me last week.
I was so engrossed with my research that I lost all track of time. All my hours in the lab have finally paid off. Here is the answer to our search.
This is all very new to me.
Were you not sweated? I've never been on a cruise either. We don't like it. We jump ship the first port of call. We stay there, then we fly back.
Max, I'm talking about us.
Megan, high school kids go steady all the time. I think you and I can handle it.
Well, we're not high school kids anymore, and, well, I've been so damned independent all my life.
I haven't exactly been Mr. Commitment myself.
Yeah, but at least you've made more commitments than I have. I mean, I don't even know what you expect of me, and I don't know what I should expect of you.
Don't expect anything. All we're talking about here is sharing our feelings for each other.
That's hard for me to do. I'm not very good at sharing. It's going to take me a little practice.
It's okay. I'm a very patient man.
So if I slip into my old ways, if I seem to take you for granted, you'll forgive me?
Will you just lighten up just a little bit? We'll just take this moment by moment. Fair enough?
Okay, fair enough.
Is that it?
Practically bared my soul to you. Isn't that enough?
Well, for a second, I was afraid you're going to pull your little Houdini act again and cancel out on me this weekend. I cannot wait to see this jersey on you again. Tell you what, let's not wait for the cruise. Stay with me tonight.
You're a real winner, Megan. After everything I've done for you, you don't even have the decency. She doesn't even have the decency to tell me she's moving to California.
us later at the studio.
What the hell is going on here? When you needed your first break, I gave it to you. I made you the queen of daytime. I conned the agency into paying twice what you're worth. And this is the thanks I get? I get a phone call from your agent. Oh, by the way, you're going to have to look for someone else to play Megan's part because she's not going to renew her contract.
I never agreed to another 2 years.
But I had no idea you were even thinking of leaving.
Why don't you and Megan and her agent get together tomorrow after the show, have a little drink, and work this out?
Max, there's nothing to work out. Our girl here is on her way to La La Land to become a big movie star.
My plans are not definite, Randy.
Oh, of course not. No, you have to see how the audition works out this weekend. And if you get the part, then bye-bye. And if not, then maybe you'll consider giving another 6 months to Fraternity Row. Isn't that the idea?
What audition this weekend?
She didn't tell you? It's her first major motion picture audition.
Is that true, Megan? Have you planned an audition this weekend?
At the studio's expense. Get this, they even sent her an airline ticket.
What the hell is going on, Megan?
My father is planning to relocate to Los Angeles, and he wants me and Sarah to go along with him. But the plans are not definite yet.
I'd say an airline ticket this weekend sounds pretty definite.
Max, you don't understand. My father made all of the arrangements without telling me. I tried to discuss it with you, but...
Yeah, but you called your agent first, and then I sat here with you for the last hour. You didn't say a word. Oh, let me guess. You were going to say something, but then you figured, why spoil a good time? Maybe I can have a few more laughs with Max before I have to disappear again. Is that it?
No, that's not it.
You're going to have to take a ticket and wait in line, pal. I've got a potential disaster on my hands, and nobody's personal life takes priority over this one.
Damn it, Randy. Will you just go back to Philadelphia? I'll call you later.
Forget it. I've been stabbed in the back enough times by you and whipped by the agency more than enough times on this one. You're going to have to stop using me for your own selfish ends. It's time you learned that the world does not revolve around the great and illustrious Megan Gordon.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
What is that, Kavanaugh?
It is the culmination of 2 years of research that you so generously funded.
Does it have a name?
I think you deserve the honor. We'll call it the G strain virus.
Virus? I didn't tell you to work on any damn virus.
Your orders were for me to help you find a way to complete your plan. The virus was in its final stages of development, so I decided to concentrate on it. I knew your schedule was tight.
You get back to that lab and you come up with something that is not dangerous. Now put that thing down before you drop it.
It's harmless in its frozen state.
Yeah, and deadly at room temperature? I do not want anyone killed or seriously injured. Do you understand?
Trust me, it is neither deadly nor dangerous. It will accomplish your mission without any lasting effects on anyone.
I have a high regard for your scientific genius, Kavanaugh, but I have put you under a lot of pressure lately.
You may pressure others into doing something rash, but I've known you for too long a time to succumb to that. If I didn't believe that it was the solution to your problem, and if I didn't think that it wasn't deadly, I wouldn't present it to you.
All right. I'm going to trust your judgment. How much of it do you have to make up?
The one vial will take care of all your needs.
Okay. Now you take this and you put it someplace safe.
Will you be here all afternoon?
Yes.
I'll return shortly.
All right, good. Frazier. You just missed Kavanaugh.
I overheard your conversation, Michael.
All right. Tell me what's on your mind.
A virus is too risky. There's got to be another alternative.
We are not going to wait around another year or two while Kavanaugh comes up with another alternative. Everything is falling into place. We have got to move now.
I understand your determination to recover the time capsule, but are these extreme measures necessary?
Success, as you know, has always been my #1 priority. Now, I am on the threshold of my greatest success, and I am not turning back. Gabrielle's showroom is directly over the time capsule, and in order to uncover that time capsule, we are going to disseminate that virus.
You kept a diary while you were in medical school?
Well, no, not a diary. I had some notes, so.
Well, what do the notes say?
Well, there's a lot about the trip up to New York with your father, and then we followed Nikki into the White Lion bar. Initial contact friendly. She had worked in the bar for several months and seemed to feel at home there. Symptoms and signs, obviously in 3rd trimester of pregnancy. Complexion shallow. no recognition of Victor Lord as her father. Her initial response was the assumption that we were trying to pick her up. As VL's temper flared and his demands that she come back to land fair increased, so did her hostility. She insisted that she'd never laid eyes on him before and had no intention of going anywhere with him. Victor Lord was instructed us to carry her to the limo, which was difficult because of her resistance, and the bartender came to the rescue, but was foiled by Madison.
How awful. How absolutely awful for her. To have been kidnapped, to have been forcibly taken from the one place that she felt safe and at home. How on earth could I ever hate her? Certainly not surprising to me that she never trusted anyone after what you guys did to her. It's no wonder she turned out to be such a demon.
Look, if I'd known how to handle it differently...
Oh, come on, you were only interested in following my father's orders.
That is not true. I did everything for her. Everything that I knew how to do. But I was scared, Vicky. I was young.
Why did you bother showing me these notes, Larry? There's absolutely nothing in here that would lead me to my daughter.
I think there is, Vicky. I called New York Information. The White Lion Bar is still in business. The same address in Greenwich Village.
You know, the problem may not be your phone, but your long-distance phone company. Switch to Sprint. Get the best sound quality and save as much as 10, 20, even 30%.
Hi, Dad.
I heard.
Yeah, 2 cavities.
It's time for ACT.
ACT fluoride rinse can cut cavities 40% more than brushing alone, because ACT gets to surfaces a brush can miss. ACT now to reduce cavities 40%.
It's so hard to breathe. It feels like I'm holding my nose, but I'm not.
For a child's cold, or a child's cold with a cough, there's Pediacare.
Bye, cold, and bye-bye.
A child's cold needs special care. Pediacare.
I love your eyes, they're just my size. The way your hair hangs down to there, but I love your skin the best. 'Cause it's caressed.
New Caress, now with even more bath oil. Caress leaves skin softer than soap can. If you love your skin, soften it. Caress it.
But I love your skin the best. 'Cause it's caressed.
Skin feels best when it's caressed.
They tied strings, left notes, even got me a new pet. But I still had a bad memory till Mom got me Locomotion, the newest memory game. Now I can remember 10 things in a row without forgetting one, like move on my bottom, act like a chicken.
Milton Bradley has memory games for all ages, like Original Memory, Match and Move, and Animal Families.
Now Mom's happy and Dad's thrilled, but I'm stuck with the 4,000-pound pet.
The memory games, they're too much fun to forget.
Devastated.
I know it's too late for you to protect me now.
Not too late.
A shocking secret is revealed.
Julian.
You know whether the same person still owns the bar?
No, but we could send a detective up there and poke around, ask questions, try to find friends of Nikki, maybe even her boyfriend.
It's a long time ago, Larry.
I know. Vicky, I never said it would be a piece of cake. But it's possible now, isn't... Victor might have tracked down the father of the child and paid him to adopt it. That's possible, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose. Of course, it depends on who the young man was, whether or not my father trusted him.
All right, the White Lion Bar is a neighborhood bar, so it's possible you and your friends lived in that area, right?
Larry, do you have any idea how many hippies flocked to New York City in the 1960s?
Yes, thousands, hundreds of thousands. But if you lived and worked in that area and you were single and you were pregnant, it's possible someone might have remembered that.
Well, I suppose it's possible that some of the friends she made may still live there. And of course, it is possible that she got involved with one of the neighborhood fellas.
Okay, all right. Now, I have contacted some of my colleagues up there and asked them for a list of private investigation outfits, and they've come up with these. Now, the one at the top there, they recommend that 4 or 5 different times, so maybe that's the one we should start with. You want me to call, and maybe they can take the case right away?
No, thank you. The information you've given me has been very helpful, and it's given me hope, and I appreciate it, but I meant what I said when I got here. Information is all I want from you.
I thought maybe we could work together. You give me a chance to prove my loyalty to you.
No, thank you. Does anyone else know about this?
No. Well, I talked to Renee, but I didn't tell her about the notes. Just told her I had some information for you.
In that case, I would appreciate it if you would keep this conversation just between us.
Pretty ironic, isn't it? Same trap I'm falling into.
Yes, I realize that. But in this particular case, your silence would be very helpful. Especially right now. I have every intention of pursuing this lead that you've given me just as far as it will take me, but I want to do it alone.
No, Vicky, I don't think that's a good idea at all.
I don't really want your opinion, Larry. I just want your promise that you won't tell anyone.
All right, I promise.
Thank you.
Good luck. So when did Megan move into this hotel?
Yesterday. That's why I wanted to come in the back way. I wanted to avoid running into her in the lobby.
Good idea.
Anyway, take off your coat.
Sure.
Relax.
Mm.
I'm gonna call room service and order that piece.
Well, I guess you were serious about that luau stuff, huh?
Never serious. I hope you like pineapple.
I used to love pineapple until I went to the islands and got my fill of it because I didn't have anything else to do.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Actually, I'd rather sway to the music a little bit. How about you? That's assuming you want to sway with me. Ooh, I missed you.
You didn't miss me that much. You only sent me 2 postcards.
That doesn't mean I wasn't thinking about you the whole time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about what a fool I've been for the way I've been treating you.
Well, you wanted to be friends. And hey, we have been very, very good friends.
I wanted to be more than friends, but something always seems to come up.
Or someone?
Yes, someone. But I had gotten by that, and I was hoping that you would come to Hawaii with me, but it didn't look like you were ready to make that kind of a commitment.
Well, it was a tough decision. I somehow managed to make the wrong one.
Yeah, well, people make mistakes sometimes. That's assuming you're ready to get over this one.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm ready. I don't believe this. You expecting somebody?
No. I have been getting a lot of packages for Megan, though.
Great. Watch this. I'm a wizard getting ready to deliver it, man.
How dare you storm in here and interfere with my life?
When you try to sabotage mine, you can be sure I'm going to fight back.
For your information, I had no intention of saying goodbye. I was going to renew my contract.
No. That's not what your agent said.
My agent didn't have the latest news. I tried to tell it to you, but you weren't listening to me. I've changed my mind about moving to California. In fact, I've changed my mind about auditioning for that feature film. But now that you've ruined my last chance with Max, I might as well book the first flight to L.A.
Wait a minute. You're going to blow off an audition to become a film star to spend a weekend with Max Holden? What is going on with you two?
My personal life is none of your business.
Hey, you started this, sweetheart. You're going to finish it.
Oh, right. Why? So you can call up one of your columnist friends and give them an exclusive on my personal life? No way, Randy. I would rather wait on tables for the rest of my life than have Max's name smeared in the papers by a sleaze like you.
That's fine. Now, what are you going to do about the show? Are you going to renew your contract?
When I make my decision, I will have my agent call you.
This high and mighty act doesn't work with me anymore, sweetheart. Now, I want some questions answered now.
Get out of my face, you creep.
I'm in your face. I'm in your life. I'm everywhere. And in case you have conveniently forgotten, I own you.
That is the most absurd statement I've heard in my entire life. You're really beginning to believe your own press, aren't you? You better just get with it, Randy. And while you're at it, put this in your file of information. Nobody owns me, least of all you.
You're the one who's going to lose it, Megan, because I do own you. And I have a certain piece of film in my wall safe to prove it. God. Now, have I refreshed your memory enough, or do you want to see your name in the National Intruder headlines tomorrow?
I've always thought you were the pits as a producer, but you know, you're even worse as a blackmailer.
You want to test my skill? You go right ahead.
Let me refresh your memory, Randy. I am a big daytime TV star, and I have been #1 or #2 in the popularity polls this whole year. Now, I know you think the fans are a bunch of dummies, but I happen to know that they are a group of very sophisticated people, and they're very loyal. I am sure that they would be more than willing to forgive a youthful indiscretion.
That may very well be, but the agency is not sophisticated. They work on a bottom line, Megan, and that bottom line is money, and they make their money by a certain image. And that image is apple pie, mom, and innocence. And if you don't fit that image, then you can lose your job and you can kiss your entire career goodbye.
They don't control the world.
You want to bet? And when I'm finished telling them a couple of stories or two, the phone lines from here to California are going to melt in the heat.
What stories?
Oh, any little story I can think up. Something dirty, maybe. Doesn't really matter what I say, and it doesn't really matter if it's true. Because you see, Megan, the more you deny it, the more they're going to think that you're lying. So, now do you understand, sweetheart? I do have the last laugh.
Go down the stairs. Watch out. The steps.
Idiots. Out of here. You got the wrong hotel. This place was renovated a couple years ago.
We got a work order for a shop on the lobby level. It's Gabrielle's design showroom, it says.
Any problems here, gentlemen?
Oh, yeah. We got a real problem. This isn't a service entrance. It's a restaurant.
It's quicker going to the lobby.
You go through the service entrance or you never come back in here. You got that?
Hey, buddy, we're just trying to make a living.
Don't call me buddy. You play by my rules or you don't make a living here. You got that?
Why don't you boys take that down to the showroom while I straighten out this gentleman?
That way, around the back. I have to give my permission for any restorations done in the hotel. You never asked me for that. You also need city work permits, which I did not file for. I am not going to have my guests upset, my lobby destroyed, my restaurant ripped apart by workmen hauling stuff through here to save a couple extra minutes and save you a couple extra dollars.
Are you finished?
Oh, no, I'm just getting started.
Well, I think I've heard quite enough. For your information, Max, I would have asked your permission for this renovation. That is, if I could find you. Every time I came by your office or called, they said you were at WVLE or maybe somewhere else. So you see, you don't have a manager, so I decided to go ahead with the renovations, just thinking that you probably wouldn't object.
You're wrong on both counts. I have a manager, and I do object to renovations. Here's my manager now. Why don't you clear the project with him?
Mr. Gordon, hi. How you doing? Come on in.
Whatever happened to rock and roll?
Hi, Dad. Cord was just telling me about his trip to Hawaii, some of the island traditions. Cord, why don't you tell Dad about your trip?
Well, I had a great time, actually. I took some great shots of the Mauna Kea and the Mauna Loa, which is, of course, the largest volcanic mountain in the world, of course, because of the cubic content. But, hell, I bet you know all that.
Yes, we've taken several expeditions there. The beauty of the islands is staggering.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yes, once we move to California, I plan on taking Sarah over to the islands for a little vacation and sightseeing.
Dad, look, I already told you, I'm not going to California. Now, if you and Megan want to go, that's fine. I'm staying here.
I can see this is going to be a little more difficult than I thought.
Save your breath. I'm not going.
If I can convince the governments of the world to protect their natural resources, I have every reason to believe I can convince you to move out west with your sister and me.
Will you promise me that you won't tell us so?
Vicki, please don't ask me to do that.
Why?
Because it forces me to... Look, I already made a serious mistake when I didn't tell Clint about Lysander Clare, and look what happened.
No, that was not a mistake. If I had told Clint about Lysander, he would not have let me go to see him, and I would not have learned anything at all. Similarly, if we tell him about this White Lion bar in New York City, he's not going to let me go. He's going to send some detective to get information about Nicky Smith.
Well, I think that's a great idea. Let a private investigator go, and you stay here in Lambview.
No. I honestly believe I have a much better chance of getting people to talk to me, even if they don't instantly recognize Nicky Smith's name. Maybe even after all these years, I still resemble her enough to jog their memories.
Well, but then you can give a detective some photographs. Let him show them around for you.
Nay, come on. You know as well as I do people don't talk freely to detectives. I am desperate to find my daughter. I don't want to trust this job to somebody else. I want to do it myself.
Vicki, please, let a detective go to New York, find something useful, and then you can go to New York and check it out.
No, because Clint will insist that the detective report to him. And if the detective tells him something he doesn't like or makes him nervous, he's not going to tell me because he wants to protect me. I have lost 25 years of my life with my daughter because people are protecting me, and I cannot risk it happening again. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I realize that it is so unfair of me to ask you to lie. But at the same time, I have to be able to confide in you. I also need somebody that I can call from New York in case I do run into a problem that I can't handle.
Lordy, my head says no. My heart can't turn down a friend who's asking for help.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I know it upsets you to lie to Clint. But you know, if you stay out of his way while I'm in New York, you won't have to lie to him.
Vicki, I'm not worried about Clint. I am terrified for you, the pain, the anguish that this trip might cause you.